When you are a politician, you already have the media in your pocket. You already have the money in your pocket. Now you're just trying to rise to the top. You're trying to get more people to support you. And you're trying to make those decisions that build your legacy. Hey guys, welcome back to the After Hours. I'm the ATEL Beast, and today we're gonna talk about penny stocks and politics. So when it comes to politicians, we have to understand most of them have authority. If we boil this down to 4 basic value principles, what does that look like? If you are a politician, you probably know how to speak. You know how to speak well enough to make people support your idea. So at some level, you're probably educated, or you're just really good with people. You're enthusiastic. People feed off of your energy. There's probably equivalent of that inside of the stock market. And you saw that with the Roaring Kitty video. He's someone that was well-spoken. He was someone that was relatable. The same thing happens with these politicians. It's just a lot more boring. It goes through courts. It goes over rules. There's a lot more decisions that are made. But if we just boil down to the effect on the people, and we understand how the people affect the stock market. When it comes to the stock market, we understand we are a forward-looking market. And if we're talking about the speculative markets, like penny stocks, we understand you pay with attention. And attention can get you even more attention later, and that's called going viral. When you are a politician, you already have the media in your pocket. You already have the money in your pocket. Now you're just trying to rise to the top. You're trying to get more people to support you. And you're trying to make those decisions that build your legacy. So any person that rises in authority and in power, they want to leave a mark for their family, a mark for their country. The people that get put into power, they were raised by the people. The same thing happens in the stock market. Every stock that goes up, it was raised by someone. There is a phenomenon that happens where you have a hype play. Now with a hype play, this is a parabolic stock price. Now this stock price, it doesn't indirectly represent how people feel. But if you do see a stock drastically increase, there had to be some reasons. For instance, meme stocks. We understand that behind all the parabolics inside of the meme stocks was a movement. And that movement was backed by people like Roaring Kitty and backed by even more people that supported the values that he had. It's the same thing in politics. It's pretty much a science. Now, the science behind politics is enthusiasm. It's arguing. It's a system used to move the people. If you are a politician, you believe that you can move the people by being relatable, by being enthusiastic. People want to feel your energy. They want to support not what you represent, but they want to support you representing that thing. You will make them happy by doing well. Now, when it comes to the branches of government, it doesn't really matter which house they're in. All of them know how to speak. So the current leader that we have is President Joe Biden, but our former leader is former President Donald Trump. You have to understand, when we look at these two people, they come with a lot of support. Now this support can come in many different categories, but we're only gonna look at the ones that affect the stock market. We're mostly talking about attention. Ever since the Egyptian times, most people pay attention to attention. What gets the people going? What is hype? The hype plays that get these stocks to go up to hundreds of dollars. They don't come out of nowhere. They go viral. They go viral because someone said something. When one thing is believable, whether it's fear or whether it's something that makes you greedy, we like to share because we're social animals. And at some point, when we have that fear or something that we want to support, and eventually it turns into greed or pride, those emotions start to spread. It becomes contagious. The people that are the best at starting this avalanche of emotions are the people in authority. They're used to manipulating. They're used to getting what they want by saying it well enough, by creating a vision and then selling that vision to you. So at the end of the day, the stock market is a tool to transfer money. It's a connection between all the companies. So when we look at former President Donald Trump, we normally think of DWAC. When it comes to DWAC, he recently changed the name for DWAC to his actual name. It's called DJT. What's important is something really unfortunate just happened to the former president, and he handled it really well. The way he handled it in the whole situation, it kind of became a meme stock already. He's getting more attention, and all this attention, it's feeding his polls. It's feeding his campaign. He went from almost 50% chance of about to win the election to about 70% chance. But that's not the only thing. A lot of people also looked at his stock, mostly because it has something to do with him in the first place. If we look over here in China, there are 2 stocks that went up by the limit inside of one day, and they both had something to do with Donald Trump. But we do understand that this was a wake-up call. This is an event that hasn't happened in over 30, even 40 years. If we give it a little more context, if we just rewind back to 3 years ago in 2021, we saw the power of hype when it comes to timing and politics. We saw DWAC go all the way past $100. And it would move over $50 in a day, both ways. Even I traded back then when it was around 140, and then back down to 50, and then back up to 110, and then back to 70. After that point, the volatility was too crazy to manage, so I left it alone. But I know some people that absolutely killed it. If you want to know more about that, look at our affiliate channel, which is Steven Ducks.
Interested in trading like Steven Ducks? It all starts with choosing the right broker. Ducks Trading has partnered with Centerpoint Securities to supercharge your trading journey. By joining Centerpoint Securities through Ducks Trading, you can unlock CP Edge, a suite of top-tier trading tools valued at over $6,000 right at your fingertips. Gain an edge in your trading with real-time scanners, cutting-edge news, and a personalized trading journal. Experience trading like never before, with superior short inventory, dedicated support, buttery smooth trade execution, and the opportunity to earn interest on any of your idle funds. Plus, enjoy competitive pricing that suits your trading style. Ready to elevate your trading? Simply click the link in the description below to get started. Now, let's dive back into the content.
So before the recent events, there was a decent week inside of trading. One of the main plays I liked was VCN. Now this was a resistance play, which is why I liked it. Now it had layers of resistance. If we look at VCN, you'll see there was a downtrending chart, which means this has been going down for a while now, and it's pretty much due for a spike. Well, if we just look at the last 2 weeks, we saw volume start coming back into the chart after it bounced off at $3. Now, when the volume came back into the chart, you had a day where it was at 30 million, and that 30 million brought it over $7 from 5 up to 12. That is spread thin, especially only for 30 million volume. I consider 30 million volume a decent amount of volume. From that, I can't really find a solid level I would like to risk, and it would be kind of arbitrary if I just shoot right in the middle or aim for the bottom when the strongest point is actually always at the top of a resistance. Instead of aiming for 12, if there's enough of a pullback, I'd actually probably aim for 5 or 6, somewhere towards the bottom. Usually on those type of days, you actually want to go intraday on that resistance and figure out, where was the consolidation? Where was the end of that day? Where was the bottom of that day? You want to have connecting points. If we go back to where the close was, it's closer to 6. And then the next consolidation, the closest thing is closer to $9. That's where you see multiple points being tested, which means you have 2 solid layers of resistance, but it's only inside of 30 million volume. It's heavy, but it's barely decent. When it comes to my preferred amount of volume that I would like to use for my trades, it's around 40 million. And I'd rather it stay within $3 of range. You have 4 times my normal comfortable level when it comes to using a resistance on a bounce short. But it's not like this can't be used. This range can influence what happens later. It can make it harder for something to go up. So after there's a confirmation, let's say there's a stuff at the open. If there's a resistance like this in the history, I can use points of that resistance, no matter how spread it is, to use my risk management. But I would be a lot less confident because I can understand each one of those points before the top point of that resistance can be broken. It's pretty much paper thin, but its resistance is better than nothing. We saw this went up to $12 and it opened somewhere closer to 5. So when this pulled all the way back to $3 and then in the pre-market, it touched $8 before actually opening at $6. We understood 2 things. 1, $3 is the bottom. It's the most secure place we have on the chart so far. And 2, this has the ability to touch 8 effortlessly. We understand whether we're talking about politics or the stock market, it all comes back down to the primal desires. The fear, the greed, the hunger, the security. These are all fundamentals. And fundamentals drive growth inside of both of these. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.